Yo, it's the undeniable, the new generation of innovation. Mr. Please Don't Die, the real deal teriyaki. I love wrestling, you love wrestling, we all love wrestling.
Welcome to the We Love Wrestling spot. You know, we talk about things that we love. Joined by Nicole, the number 2 for We Love Wrestling, also part of Down for the Count. Today we got the innovator, Mr. Undeniable. Mr. Please Don't Die. I mean, if you go on his Instagram, let me just stop for a second. You go on his Instagram, he got clips up where you be like, I think he died about 2 or 3 times, but he always get back. You know what I'm saying? We got the real MF and deal. I think because of YouTube. We have Mr. Teriyaki. How you doing, Teriyaki?
I'm good, man. Can't complain, you know what I'm saying? Just cooling. I appreciate y'all for having me.
I appreciate you coming on.
Anytime.
I usually ask the first question, but I gotta get this out the way. How do you come up to name yourself Teriyaki? First off, let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's like a question I've been getting asked often right now. So my partner Chaz, like we grew up with each other, you know what I'm saying? It's one of my close friends. So like we just, you know, kicking it, whatever. And one day he was like, yo, I'm gonna start calling you Teriyaki because like I got the sauce. Woo, all that other, you know, reasons. But he was like, yeah, I'm gonna start calling you Teriyaki. And I was like, all right, bet. So that was like a nickname for me with my friend. And then like when I got into wrestling, me and my brother was supposed to be like a tag team. It was Terry Guns and Tommy Guns. But my brother stopped wrestling because, you know, he older than me. So he couldn't like, you know what I'm saying, keep up with like doing it as much as me. So by the time I was ready to debut, I was like, I ain't gonna be Terry Guns because that's not as cool as Tommy Guns. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm gonna just go with Teriyaki, see what happened. I mean, it worked.
I mean, when you hear that name, it comes out to you like Teriyaki, and like I heard the name, and I was like, how is he spelling the Terry part though? And it was like T-E-R. Yeah. Like for real? It was like, yeah. I was like, well, okay. We have
first name Terry, last name Yaki. You know,
there it is. Because he got perfect. The sauce. Well, let's talk about this sauce a little bit, Teriyaki. The first question we usually always ask here is, why do you love wrestling? / what started your love for wrestling?
So I love wrestling because it's like I can't explain. It's art, you know what I'm saying? It's like a perfect version of like a movie or, you know what I'm saying, like action, sport. It's everything mixed into one. So everything you catch on TV, from reality to drama, action movies, fighting, sports and all that. It's everything in one. So it's kind of universal, but it's like people don't really, you know what I'm saying? It's starting to catch steam now, how I did like when everybody was watching it, but it's definitely like that's why I love wrestling. You know, now that I'm a wrestler, it's like for the fans and everybody, you know what I'm saying, coming up to me after shows and, you know, just, you know, all the love I get. I appreciate all the love I get from everybody. But I started watching wrestling. I can't tell you when my first memory of wrestling, but I've been watching wrestling since I was like a kid, like, you know what I'm saying? Like WWE, TNA, you can name it. Like my dad used to have VHSs. I used to pop them in, like all the old shows, like all the old ECW, WWF, used to like VHS everything. So I had like a plethora of wrestling I used to just watch. I just pop everything in and watch it, study it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm gonna be a wrestler, I'm gonna be a wrestler. And then, you know what I'm saying? Life happened, whatever. And then one day I was like, I gotta do it. I was like, this is the only chance, you know what I'm saying? My only plan at this point, I didn't have a B or C, D, none of the rest of the letters, you know what I'm saying? This is my plan A, so I was like, I just got to jump down.
So,
you know
what was your favorite wrestling VHS?
You said favorite wrestling age?
No, VHS. Like, what was your favorite VHS that you like constantly watched?
I think it was Shawn Michaels. It was I don't remember the pay-per-view, but it was Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker in that Hell in a Cell match. I used to always like watch that one. You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember.
I think that was a Mania.
That was Mania 25.
Okay.
I got the DVD.
In the Hell in a Cell when Kane debuted and all that. Yeah,
Kane debut. You talking about
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about that. Yeah, like
okay.
Oh wow.
Shawn Michaels bleeding like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was watching that like, yo, this is crazy. This is good stuff right here. Either
I
that
haven't seen
one,
that match in a long time, in full in a long time, rather.
me either, man. I gotta go and check it out.
I
Yeah.
literally
That was a
just
banger.
watched that because they on the A&E WWE Rivals thing they do. They had
Mm-hmm.
that. They was talking about that match. So I had to go back and check it out because that was a great match. And then years later, they did those two matches at WrestleMania, which was crazy. Nicole did ask my question, so I switch it up. Who were some of your favorites while you was growing up watching?
Oh man, it's like every time I get asked like who's my favorite wrestler, I always say AJ Styles because that's like hands down my favorite wrestler. But like favorites, it's like I always got favorites from like certain times because like it's like different eras of wrestling. So like Rob Van Dam is definitely like on the top of the list. It's a lot of TNA guys that I looked up to like in wrestling. So like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Low Key, and like Christopher Daniels, like they're on the top of my list. Like ECW will be like Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Lance Storm, and like Jerry Lynn. And then like WCW, I like Chris Jericho. It's just like, it's like I can name a million people, but it's like AJ Styles would definitely be up there, Rob Van Dam and Sabu. Those are like probably like my top three right now. Shawn Michaels definitely, I can't leave him out. Shawn Michaels is definitely.
This is hilarious. You did this to yourself. We did a podcast where we was ranking AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels. We asked a similar question to this later, but
this was a while ago. I was very team. I always give Shawn Michaels the smoke though, so that's.
Hold on, Nicole. Hold on. We gotta find out from Teriyaki first. Would you put AJ Styles over Shawn Michaels in your liking?
What you mean, like on my list?
Yeah, because we did
as overall
where we put AJ Styles over. We put Styles over the kid, the Heartbreak Kid. And, got some heat from it. Shawn Michaels did block us. Shout out to Shawn Michaels.
I don't want Shawn Michaels to block me. I ain't even meet him yet, man.
he blocked our podcast too, so he must have been real mad about that episode. Yeah, he blocked us.
Yeah.
Well, like from like a personal like standpoint, Shawn Michaels is like my brother's favorite wrestler. So I watched a lot of Shawn Michaels because of that. And like on top of that, Shawn Michaels is like goated. You can't take that away from Shawn Michaels. But AJ Styles, in my eyes, is like he was my Shawn Michaels. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen him in the X Division doing crazy stuff, so I was like, yo, like I got it. This is the dude. You know what I'm saying? But Shawn Michaels, if you feel me, you got to think like if you take Shawn Michaels out of the equation, then how many wrestlers is gonna be who they are today? You know what I'm saying? So if you want to do overall, then you got to put Shawn Michaels a little higher than AJ Styles. But like this era right now, AJ Styles would probably be like that with Shawn Michaels. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of people that look to AJ Styles like how they did to Shawn Michaels. It's like hard. It's like I don't know, but I don't want Shawn Michaels to block me. So
All right,
I
you
might
gotta
be
answer
going.
that
Okay. Yeah, you gotta watch.
You ain't gotta answer
Gotta
that.
watch what you say nowadays.
That's all right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shawn still.
But I go with AJ, kinda. But Shawn Michaels too. You ain't gonna get a straight answer.
Well, we do got a question later that we need a straight answer, and it's the most serious question that we do ask. So I got to ask you, Teriyaki. Before we started the interview, you said you was watching wrestling. What were you watching on TV? Because a lot of people, when they on the independent scene, they don't have time to keep up and be able to watch wrestling. So what were you watching on wrestling? Is there anything going on in the wrestling world right now that you enjoy?
Right now, I just finished watching El Generico and Kevin Steen against Excalibur and Super Dragon. And then I was trying to watch one of that was a banger. They was going dumb in CCW. Yeah. And then I was trying to watch one of my old matches back because I like to watch my matches back and like critique what I was doing. So I was, what match was I just watching? I can actually, let me see. Which one was it? It was the settlement series, the second settlement series I did. It was a scramble.
The GCW.
Yeah, in Chicago.
Yeah.
I was watching that. Seeing like in betweens and stuff like that I was doing, trying to pick it apart.
So since we're hearing you just said watching your matches, if I'm a person that don't know teriyaki, I usually ask this later. What like two matches would you tell me to go watch to get a feel of who teriyaki is in the ring?
Man, of mine,
Yeah.
probably I'll probably say my match against Dustin Waller on the Settlement Series.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a good, like, I guess you can say, explanation to who I am. Um, I'll probably go with, man, I'll probably go with three matches. That's one. I'll go with my match with Fox probably, because that's like the beginning of my whole, you know what I'm saying, my whole career. So that's like a good explanation for like what I was trying to do. And then I guess you can say my most recent match would be like, you know what I'm saying? My most recent match would be what the six man I had with the six man I had with it was me, Jay, Danger against Northside Heroes and Rico Gonzalez. Actually, me and Rico Gonzalez in that street fight with the last man standing we did, that's a good one too.
Okay. Okay. There it is. There it is. Rico, y'all been
Yeah.
back and forth. Before we get into that, Nicole gonna
Thanks.
go after me, but let me ask you, how did you get started wrestling? You said you used to watch it with your brother and everything, and then you and your brother get started. But how do y'all get started in actually wrestling?
All right, so I started what like my dad was a fan, my granny was a fan. My granny had like somebody in her family that was like a wrestler at one point. So they like during like the territory days. Like you know what I'm saying? He was like a local talent. But start like how we started in wrestling was I'll say like a year before I joined the WWE 4, I pulled up on him. And I just checked it out. And at the time, like I wasn't on. You feel me? I wasn't on that type of. I wasn't on that time. So I was like, yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? My pops was like, oh, it's a school in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Because I had tried to sign up for the Nightmare Factory, but they didn't accept me.
Mm.
When they had first started, they were just taking like people to sign. And so like I guess my email didn't get to them. I don't know how it worked. But so I was like, all right, I'll see what's up with the A4 because like my pops was telling me about it. I was like, oh yeah, AR Fox. All right, bet. You feel me? I know of him from like PWG and stuff like that, watching like his Dragon Gate stuff. And so I was like, all right, that'd be cool. I'll pull up. So I pulled up. I was like, oh, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Seeing like a live wrestling ring, you know what I'm saying? Fox in there. It's like, all right, that's bad. But at the time, I was like, nah, I was stand up. Just like, I ain't trying to do that. And then, you know, a little some, you know, I went through a little bit of stuff. And then I was like, I just got to do it. So I pulled up. As soon as I pulled up, it was like open arms, you know what I'm saying? It was like open arms, like straight up. Like I was like, I gave Fox the money, and then I was like, all right, so do I just come back? He was like, no, you can start right now. He was like, you ready? I was like, yeah, I'm ready. He was like, all right, bet. You got to introduce yourself to everybody in the room. This is how you get in and out the ring. You want to take a bump? All right, that's how you bump. You want to hit the ropes? All right, that's how you want to hit the ropes. You know how to lock up? That's how you lock up. You know what I'm saying? It was just went like that the whole day. You feel me? I got through so much in just one day, and him just showing me just because I was willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? And then my brother, he had came with me because I was driving with him, so he had came to watch the practice. And then he was like, dang, I'm trying to do this too. You feel me? I was like, because, you know, that's always his dream too. And so I was like, bet we could sign up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Bow. He signed up the next day. And then after that, we just started rolling after that.
That's what's up. Uh, Nicole, go ahead. I was just gonna ask this, but how does it feel being trained by AR Fox? To me, I always tell people, and like when I see him, he's their favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. Like any move that
Yeah.
you see people out here doing, these wrestlers, some type of way, they probably were inspired by AR Fox and don't even know it. So how does it feel being able to be trained by him?
It's fun, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like I knew of Fox before like I started training at the school. So, you know, I already knew he was hard, you know what I'm saying, all that. But then once you get to like being around him and like picking his brain, you know what I'm saying, listening to him and learning from him, you see how much like how great he is, you know what I'm saying, at what he does, you know what I'm saying. And then like at that time, like when I started, I watched all the Fox matches. I think I said this before too. Like, I watched all the Fox matches like after I joined so I could come back to him the next day and be like, yo, why did you do this in this match? And he'd be like, oh, I did it because of this. I'm like, all right, bet. And then I start implementing that type of like that thought process into my matches, you know what I'm saying? And I do that to this day, you know what I'm saying? I still like watch his matches on TV and stuff and ask him about certain things like you did this because of this, or how was this, or how'd you know what I'm saying? Just trying to figure out, pick his brain to like the fullest, you know what I'm saying? And like it's hard, man. It's hard because Fox, like, he really had a hand in helping so many people out here. You know what I'm saying? He's so humble. He don't even like, you know what I'm saying? He don't trip about it, or oh, this person did. You know what I'm saying? It's like he did it out of love. You know what I'm saying? He gave back to the business. I feel like that's like the most important thing in the business is give back to the business. You know what I'm saying? Give it to the next generation. He's gave to so many generations. It's crazy. That's why, you feel me? I feel like it's like his opportunity was due. You know what I'm saying? It's like about time for him to get the opportunity.
Glad he got that opportunity. One day we hope to pick AR Fox's mind on here, but
So I know, again, we've had quite a few people. I think more than not like a huge amount, but we've had quite a few people that we've spoken to on here who have been trained by AR Fox. What about him, or what have you learned from him that has helped you create who you are as a wrestler, or even as a person now?
It's a quote. I can't remember it specifically from how he said it, but I remember we went to Florida. This is like before. It was probably like a week or two before I debuted. They had a Florida show. It was like a WWN like A4 like show like they did together. It was like a big like pay-per-view. This one Rico Gonzalez actually debuted. I was still reffing at the time, but he did a seminar before it. And he was talking to the kids, and I forgot exactly how he put it. But he was like, it's either you can be good, you can be great, or you can be different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be great. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be good, because if you're good, then, anybody can be good. But if you're different, then you're going to stand out. And so when he said that, I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Be different. So I tried to be different with everything I did, you know what I'm saying? From the way I like took moves to the way I, you know what I'm saying, sold certain things, you know what I'm saying? My move set I try to make as different as I could possibly get it, you know what I'm saying? I like watching like the holy I don't know if I can cuss on here. You know what I'm saying? But like the highlights and like all the moves and all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying? And the crazy moves, I like to watch those when I was a kid. And I used to play with action figures when I was a young kid. So I used to like come up with moves and stuff like that. And so when I joined wrestling, I started doing the same thing. So I was like, all right, bet that could fit, this could fit, I could do that, you know what I'm saying? And so like that was like my way, like that's the like most, like, I ain't gonna say the most important thing I picked up from it, and that's like one thing that really stuck with me is like be different. I gotta be different in everything I do, especially like in the ring, because like right now we're in a stage where everybody's athletic, like everybody's athletic. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't stand out being a high flyer, and I'm not that good of a high flyer to even stand out as a high flyer. I can't do a shooting star. I can't even do a shooting star. I just learned how to do a 450. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really stand out like that. So I was like, all right, how can I stand out if I do something different, or I do something in a different way? And so that's why I like do all the different moves and stuff. I still got a whole bag of moves I ain't even pull out yet. You know what I'm saying? So,
but you always be going to the top rope a lot. What you mean you ain't a high flyer?
but look, I don't go to the top rope a lot. I do springboards. I jump off of the rope.
That springboard is
I do dives.
Yeah, that you got to be dive in.
Yeah, that's still going on the rope.
Yeah, but that's not to the point where it's like I don't do a lot of moves off of the rope. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I don't. Only thing I do is 450. I don't do like a frog splash. I don't do like shooting star, moonsault. You know what I'm saying? All that person, elbow drops. I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? All I do is probably like springboard drop kick. I do a couple dives, maybe a 450 one here and there. That's about it. That's all I got. Other than that, it's driver, DDT, driver, DDT, drop kick.
um,
Okay.
so I kind of want to talk a little bit about GCW.
Shout out GC Dub. Long live GC Dub, man. That's good.
So I know, obviously, starting a little bit with that, I don't know how much you're allowed to talk about it, but what kind of excites you? Because I feel like they've been in such like a renaissance lately, where it's like every time. I mean, they always like sold out well, but I feel like especially like kind of being within that realm, and then it's like I feel like they'll post about a show, and it's like sold out literally a couple hours later. So how does it feel, kind of being within that realm and kind of like being able to like go to all these different promotions, also besides GCW, and be able to kind of see like the lay of the land and what has been your experience so far, and like what have you been able to take from each one of these that you've been able to do so far.
Well, from GCW, it's like a huge opportunity for me because it's like GCW's got to be one of the biggest, independent professional wrestling companies in like North America. So it's like a blessing, you know what I'm saying? But shout out Brett Lauderdale. He was able to, you know what I'm saying? He likes us enough to, be like, all right, y'all good. You feel me? Come through, pull up, you know what I'm saying? Whenever we're like, yo, can we pull up to the show? I appreciate her for that too. Um, for other promotions, it's the matter of, just getting there and being there, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everywhere I work because, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to pick me. There's so many wrestlers out there, and like, you know what I'm saying? In the I can't think of how to say it, but like so many wrestlers out there in the world right now to the point where it's like they can pick anybody, you know what I'm saying? But they choose me, so I appreciate that too. But yeah, GCW, you know what I'm saying? They rock with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not really too much I can't talk about with GCW, you know what I'm saying? It's really just I actually, you feel me, if I can come to a show and they'll see if they can find something for me. Or Brett asks me if I can come to a show and I'll figure out if I can get there. And that's usually how that works right now. But them, they're like the biggest indie in the like world right now. So like just me being able to say like I'm working for them, like not even being 2 years in my career yet, you know what I'm saying? It's just like it's a blessing for real.
That's a
God.
huge accomplishment. Obviously, you talked a lot, and obviously, you talked about how what AR was talking about being different really is what stuck with you and what has got you as far as it has been, even if you only been doing this for a short amount of time. And earlier, we talked about obviously like the VHSs and like obviously what kind of got you hooked onto wrestling. So, what match or kind of what feud that you watched when you were younger, um, that best describes Teriyaki as a wrestler now, or who you want to be?
Um, Best describes me probably would be match. I guess would be I go with the Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels. It was like a triple threat match. I
Yeah,
can't remember if it was. I think it was like Turning Point probably.
the
Like
X,
I remember it was in 2005 though.
yeah, it's the
Yeah,
X division match. Everybody talk about that. You on it?
yeah, that was X Division. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
that probably like explained me. I guess or like the Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. That's another one of my favorite
Oh
matches.
wow.
Yeah, that was a banger. Feud right now, I can't really think of one that like best describe me. One of my favorite feuds though would probably be like Randy Orton versus John Cena. Like, no. It was Randy Orton versus Triple H. My bad, I'm tripping. When he kicked Stephanie in the head, wow, gave Stephanie the front kick. I remember that from the TV, so that stuck with me. Showing up at Randy's house and all that. That was some good stuff. That was good TV. Right now, I can't really think of a rivalry that really stood out to me too much to the point. I love like the storytelling of rivalries and stuff like that, but I always just like the wrestling. Like I love watching matches. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I felt like the storylines and all that was like the icing on the cake for the wrestling. You know what I'm saying? it wasn't like the cake to me. Like wrestling was the cake, the icing was like the storyline to me. So like I always just like watching the wrestling and the matches. But it's like certain things that definitely stood out to me that I remember, you know what I'm saying? So like I guess Triple H and Randy right there.
We kind of had this conversation a little bit before We Love Wrestling, talking about, so what is more important to you as, I want to say, as a wrestler? Is it the storytelling, or is it the match or the wrestling itself?
Well, like I feel like a storyline definitely sells like tickets, you know what I'm saying? That definitely sells tickets, but I feel like you can also, you tell stories in wrestling. So through professional wrestling, you can tell stories without having a story of like, oh, my girlfriend cheated with him, and you know what I'm saying, like all of the extra. I love it. You feel me? Because that's where the money's at. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing on TV, and that's what's making them money. Like most of that's professional wrestling. It comes with like storylines, but like Okada versus Tanahashi, they had like a million matches, right? And they told stories within the match. You feel me? Every match was a callback to the last match. You know what I'm saying? Every match was a callback to the last match. So it was a story within the matches. Other than it being like a storyline to the point where it's like Okada ran over Tanahashi with a car or something like that. It was like, okay, this is the young guy coming up trying to take the spot of Ace from Tanahashi. And we watched it happen over time. You feel me? Over not over like months, but watched it happen over years. You feel me? So every match, every one of those matches in that like those all the million matches they had was like building. That was the story. You feel me? That was their story. It was through the matches. You feel me? So like I mean, storylines are definitely important though. Like you feel me, Roman Reigns right now, he's definitely like bloodline. That's like top. That's good stuff. It's top tier. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely top tier. You feel me? But like on top of that, it's like I like watching wrestling and like seeing like callbacks. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like I forgot what happened. I forget which match it was with Okada and Tanahashi, but it was like I just remember Tanahashi attacking Okada's leg. Everybody in there booed Tanahashi. And Tanahashi is like John Cena of Japan. But he attacked Okada's leg, and they're like, that's uncharacteristic of him to do that. But because he wanted the champion back, you feel me? These are the levels he had to stoop to get the champion back. It's like he had no choice, you know what I'm saying? That makes people human, and I like watching that type of stuff.
I love it. All right, so I have one more question I want to ask you before I kick it over to Trey. Obviously, music and wrestling goes hand in hand and is very important. So if there's one person, whether they're dead or alive, that you would want to do your entrance music, who would you want it to be?
That's a hell of a question.
Man, that is a really good question. Dang, I like my music right now. I ain't gonna lie. I like my music right now. That Joel Santana, Rumble Young Man Rumble,
Yeah.
hard every time.
Well,
Like
besides
I
that
like
song.
that's okay. Besides that song, oh man, maybe really Chief Keef. I gotta go with Chief Keef, Almighty Soul man. I
Hmm.
gotta go with Chief Keef. Definitely Chief Keef because he was like an inspiration to me as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Seeing him like he was like 16 with money. You feel me? All his partner, he put all his partners on. You know what I'm saying? Got them all money. He's still living like that. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I was looking at that like, yo, like dude is hard. So like seeing him, you feel me, do that, like that was definitely inspiration to me. But Chief Keef definitely, if he could like, you know how he sung Javante Davis out to the ring. I was like, man, if that can happen for me, I'll be I'll be up. WrestleMania, Chief Keef, Teriyaki to the ring. Let's go. Let's find a way to make it happen. Like that.
These bitches love Yaki.
Love to see it. But again, I'm going to kick it over to Trey. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. We highly appreciate it.
For sure.
Teriyaki,
Anytime.
you a part of a top team?
Indeed, top team. Ain't nobody topping that team, no cap.
Let's talk about top 10. You know, I seen these young brothers out here at a show, and I was like, man, they out here. Everybody plays a different role in the match with top team when they have the matches together. How did top team get together?
Facts. We so it started off as a group chat. So like we used to just like when I joined Blackjack, Dante, Jay, and Larry and me, that's the original five of top ten. But like when I first joined, like you know what I'm saying, I joined. So when I joined, like Blackjack and Larry was probably like the closest people I was, like you feel me, in the school at the time. And then Larry and Jay was tag team partners. So me kicking it with Larry so much got me and Jay to be cool. And then Dante and me used to always just run stuff in the ring. And all five of us used to every time it was like a spot or something we had to drills and stuff like that we had to do. That's like we'll always find ourselves like doing it with each other. And then like we always just link up, for shows and stuff like that. We're like I'm always riding with them, or I'm riding with Northside, I'm riding with them, you know what I'm saying? So that's like how it all came together. It was a group chat. And then off the group chat, I remember we took one picture. It's probably the first picture on the top team page on Instagram. We took that picture and we was like, all right, bet we top team now. After that, it was like, all right, bet. Danger was like, I was always cool with Danger from the beginning, too. He ain't debuted yet. So once he debuted, it was like, yeah, you got to be in top 10. Keelan was hard, you feel me? And we was all cool with Keelan. So it was like, we got to put you down. Northside, they probably like original members of the top team, too. But you know what I'm saying? They was just Northside at the time. But we was like, all right, we got to throw them in there, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? Neji hard. He debuted like this year sometime. It was like we got to put you in the group. Renegade was always like big brother to us, so he always got us bookings at like GIPW and stuff like that when we had nothing to do. It's like, yo, pull up. So like we all just came together as a conglomerate and we're like, yo, we got to be like Bullet Club. You feel me? Like that's how we look at it. It's like everybody in the group is trying to. I ain't gonna say outdo each other, but we're definitely pushing each other to. You feel me? Do more, be more. You know what I'm saying? So we always, every time I'm at a show, it's like, yo, y'all want to pull up to this show? You might could get a spot. All right, bet, pull up. All right, bet. Now they in the same room as me. You know what I'm saying? It's never like any greed or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody get in. If I got my foot in the door, then I'm gonna hold the door open for everybody else to come to. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we about, just pushing each other to get better. We always wrestle each other too, so every time we wrestle each other, we're like, we gotta have the best match on the card, no matter what. Like, I don't care if John Cena or Undertaker wrestling after us, like, they gonna remember us. You feel me? I like when like I go into the crowd after a match and everybody coming up to me like, yo, you're the best person I've seen wrestle ever. You know what I'm saying? I like that. So like, I want that to continue happening. So I'm gonna make sure that I got the best match on the card. You feel me? And that's basically what top team all about.
Okay, he liked that. You said y'all wrestle each other, so that leads me into a question that I always ask. I usually ask this around the end, but we almost there, so I got to ask it. Is there three people on the independent scene, three in 2023, that you would like to face?
On the independent scene that I would like to wrestle.
Or just three
wrapping
people?
up 2023.
Yeah.
I say on the independent scene because I say Fox a lot. And I think that's just a no-brainer that I want to wrestle Fox again because like I ain't wrestled him since my first match. I feel like now it'd be crazy if we wrestle. But I say Jordan Oliver. I think I said that last time. Jordan Oliver hard. You feel me? He like everything he does in the ring, just like real crisp. I feel like I could learn a lot from him. Speedball too. So Jordan Oliver, Speedball. Man, that's a good question.
Speedball been out here going
Who
crazy.
else? Yeah, Speedball been going like bipular. Speedball, Jay Malachi, and I'll take Jordan Oliver off the list because I said him already a couple times. So I got Speedball, I got Jay Malachi, and I throw Diego Hill, definitely Diego Hill.
Teriyaki, can I ask a serious question real quick?
For sure.
All right, man. This is the
I'm
most
always serious.
question I ask. Nicole, you ain't been here a while, so this right here determines a lot. This might end the question, but Teriyaki, as a wrestling fan, I have to ask you, The Rock or Stone Cold?
The Rocker, Stone Cold. Okay, facts. All right, dang, that's a good one, man.
It's no right or wrong
You
answer.
talking about like personally how I feel?
Yeah, yes,
How I
personally.
feel? I go with the
Yeah, as a
Rock.
wrestler.
Definitely.
Yeah, as a fan.
I go with the Rock.
You said who?
I go with the Rock. The Rock.
We outside.
Yep, exactly.
We outside.
Facts.
Also,
Gotta go with the Rock. Stone Cold was hard though. Stone Cold definitely like you feel me, but I go with the Rock.
I want to thank you, Teriyaki.
You got a list.
Yeah, The Rock is at
You got a
29.
list.
Yeah, we ask every wrestler
Okay,
that comes
okay.
on. We've done this. We go to 20 each time. We've done this. This is our fourth time. With your answer, The Rock is now at 20. Stone Cold's at 10 on this one. And
Man.
I must say, The Rock is 3-1 in the series. So we're going to ask, we got to find two different people to ask now because, I mean, we can't keep doing it because they going to keep picking The Rock, baby. Ooh-wee. We out
Oh
here.
I
God.
said Trish or Lita.
Who?
Trish or Lita.
Trisha Lita.
Is that really a question?
Lita. That was kind of. I mean, Trish was hard, but Lita was definitely going crazy. Team Extreme, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. I didn't say Jeff Hardy earlier, but Jeff Hardy was definitely one of my favorites too.
Jeff Hardy be going crazy
So
too.
I had to go with Lita. Off rip, I had to go with Lita.
Let's go to this spot. Let's make them big on the screen, guys, because I don't know what's going on with Teriyaki. We gonna have him put himself over though. Teriyaki, we call this
I bet, yeah.
put yourself over moment. This is where you let the people know your social media, ways they can support you, things you got coming up, anything you want to let them know. We just ask you to put yourself over.
I bet. YouTube, The Real Deal Teriyaki. Instagram, The Real Deal Teriyaki. Twitter, Real One Teriyaki. Facebook, Teriyaki. Cash App, Trap Yaki 11. That's if y'all generous. You feel me? Website Teriyaki. I'm about to put my t-shirts on there. So if y'all need a t-shirt, hit me up. But if I don't got the t-shirts on my website by the time you watch this and you want a t-shirt, hit me up on any one of my socials and I'll definitely chop it up with you and send it to you through my P.O. box. Yep. Wrestling. Keep up with my Instagram page, my Twitter. I post all the shows I got coming up. I'm out of the Southeast. Sometime I'm in the Northeast. So you might catch me there, but Southeast, you'll definitely catch me down here. Other than that, you feel me? I appreciate y'all for having me. Bye. I appreciate the interview. It's hard.
But that's greatness, guys. I want y'all to make sure y'all check out Teriyaki. Follow all his social media. Check out Top Team. They all go crazy. You know, one of the most exciting young wrestlers out here that you don't know. He's only 2 years in. 2 years.
Not even two.
That's good
August will
already.
be
Not
two.
even 2 yet. So he got a couple months coming. So we'll do a 2-year post for him when we get to August because man, it's wild out here. I seen him at Hit Club Pro in that match, and I was like, my first time seeing him wrestle live, because with me, it's about seeing you wrestle live and see if I get the same feel. And he did. And it was a great show. So I can't wait to see you do some more stuff. I'm upset you was at GCW and it was in Chicago, and I wasn't there. I think I was in Texas that weekend, but I'm gonna get out to see another show.
So
Said no more questions. I'm not counting your sugar answer, so never mind with that. But guys, make sure you follow Teriyaki on all social media networks. Again, all the links are in the description. Make sure you get on that. Also, follow Nicole at Down for the Count right here. You know what I'm saying? She don't give out her personal stuff, but make sure you follow her. If you see me out and she ain't there, she's still out because that's how we roll. But other than that, guys, I'm Trady. And like I always say, if I love wrestling, you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. To street, for the culture. love wrestling and you love wrestling, then you're not here, you missing out. Is this show